Visit Pokemon Card Market and buy Pokemon cards from base set up to latest evolution set with best prices, secured system and easy handling. Only for European players.
How's it going, guys? Once again, welcome back to Pokemon TCG Center. In today's video, I will show you my deck that I used to play with it in a Team Rocket up to the Neo format set. So this is my Dark Crobat deck. So I really like it. One of my favorite cards for sure is a Dark Crobat. So first of all, let's take a look at the Pokemons inside. Of course, 4 copies of Cleffa with the Eek is a staple in that format. Shuffle your hand in your deck, then draw 7 new cards, no weakness, no resistance, no retreat cost. And the rule is, if the baby Pokemon is your active Pokemon and your opponent tries to attack, your opponent has to flip a coin. If he hit tails, this attack will do 0 damage or nothing to Cleffa or any other baby Pokemon, so you can be 100% sure if your opponent flips tails that he's not going to be able to attack you, which is pretty strong. So running 4 copies of Cleffa inside, of course. So Cleffa, very powerful card, especially because it can Eek, it can recycle your hand. Since this is a deck that needs to set up, no wonder why 4 Cleffa have so much influence inside. Then my, I should say, main attacker is a Scyther with the 60 HP from Discovery. 2 grass energies, 1 retreat cost, resistance on the fightings, unfortunately weakness on the fire, but it is how it is. Fury Cutter. You flip 4 coins, this attack will do 10 plus 10 for 1 heads. For 2 heads it will be 30 damage, for 3 heads it's gonna be 50 damage, and for 4 heads it's gonna be 90 damage. So this is my definitely favorite art from that set. And yeah, that Scyther is a badass. I mean, in combination with Crobat, who can actually spread the damage around, and the Fury Cutter, in theory, in 1 turn you can strike for 120 with 1 Dark Golbat and 1 Dark Crobat and Fury Cutter for 4 heads, which will be enough to one-hit knockout Typhlosion, Meganium, or for example Feraligatr. All of those Pokemons has 120 HP, so only 2 Scythers inside. Then I'm running, of course, 4 copies of Zubats. I decided to roll with the Poison Spray one because it can poison your opponent active Pokemon, so it's not that bad. So 4 copies of Zubats. Of course, 4 copies of Dark Golbat. So the same as a Golbat from the Phantom Force, but actually this one has Sneak Attack, which says that when you play this Dark Golbat from your hand, you might choose one of your opponent Pokemon and do 10 damage to that Pokemon. I really like it. I really like it. Also, a Flitter for 2 energies can strike for 20 to one of your opponent Pokemon, so you can even snipe on the bench, just in case you're missing 20 damage for the knockout. So of course, 4 copies of a Dark Golbat. And then a real MVP, my favorite card probably from that period of the game is a Dark Crobat. So running 3 copies of Dark Crobat, 70 HP, Dark Pokemon, Surprise Bite. When you play this Pokemon from your hand, you can choose one of your opponent Pokemon to put 2 damage counters to that Pokemon. Also, Dark Drain is a very powerful attack. I mean, you can flip a coin for each of your opponent Pokemon, and for each head, this attack will do 10 damage to that Pokemon. And then after you do that, you can just remove a number of damage counters from the Dark Crobat equal to the damage you deal to all of those Pokemon. So this is just amazing. You can deal damage, you can heal, you also have gold berries. So yeah, if your opponent cannot one-hit knock out your Dark Crobat, probably it will have a hard time winning a match against you, especially with the Stadium, which will increase the HP up to 90. So it's gonna be hard to one-hit knock out Dark Crobat, that's for sure. So 3 copies of them. Also for retreat, resistance minus 30 to the fighting Pokemons. Very powerful card. Very powerful card. Then of course we are moving on to the trainer cards for Professor's Elms. So shuffle your hand in your deck, then draw 7 cards. You can't play any more trainer cards this turn. Well, fair enough, I guess. Fair enough. But yeah, pretty much after you play all of your trainer cards, you just want to use Elm, reshuffle your hand, draw 7 new cards. Well, that's the best card we have for draw in that format. Unfortunately, that's the best card we have in that format, so you wouldn't believe me, there is no more Professor Zoke, so yeah, pretty much Professor Zelm is a rule in that period. Then of course, 2 copies of Build Teleport, why not? Flip a coin if heads, draw 4 cards. I mean, it's better than Erika. Erika will draw 3 cards for you, but then your opponent will also draw 3 cards, so somehow I don't like that. I should better gamble 50-50 chance to hit heads and draw 4 cards, in my opinion. It's a decent draw supporter, so 2 copies of Build Teleport. Then 2 copies of Good Manners. In order to play this card, you can't have any basic Pokemon card in your hand. So you can show your hand to your opponent, then search your deck for a basic Pokemon, show it to your opponent and put it into your hand. I really like the Good Manners because if I don't have basic Pokemon, I can just pretty much search my deck for the Scyther, Zubat, or Cleffa, whatever Pokemon I need in that moment. So I really like that, to be honest. So 2 copies of a Good Manners. In addition to that, running also 2 copies of Rocket Secret Experiment. Flip a coin you had, search your deck for any card and put it into your hands. Something like a computer search, but you don't have to discard anything. But there's a catch. If you hit tails, you can't play trainer cards until the end of your next turn. Very scary, but I mean, Rocket Secret Experiment, if you hit heads, you can just grab any card you need at this moment. So also 2 copies of this card inside this build. 2 nightly garbage run. Well, you know, it's a very good card. You can choose up to 3 basic Pokemon evolution cards or basic energy, show to your opponent from your discard pile and shuffle back into your deck. It's something like a super road these days. Really like it. Then of course 3 copies of Rocket's Hideout. It's a stadium card which will increase the HP on all dark Pokemons in play for 20 more. Which means that basically I will have 90 HP on my Dark Crobat, 70 HP on my Dark Golbat. That's, trust me, that's a very powerful. So 3 copies of a Rocket's Hideout. I really like that Gengar in the background. Moving on to the Goldberry. Running 4 copies of Goldberry at any time between turns. This is a tool card, of course. The first tool, I guess, was a Berry and Goldberry. And also Miracle Berry, I think, and a Bursting Balloon, or something like that, or Flying Balloon for the free retreat, something like a Floatstone these days. At any time between turns, if there are at least 4 damage counters on the Pokemon Goldberry is attached to, you might remove 4 damage counters of them and then discard Goldberry. At the start of each turn, if there are at least 4 damage counters on the Pokemon Goldberry is attached to, remove 4 damage counters, then discard Goldberry. I really like this card because I can just, between turns, heal 4 damage counters from my Pokemon and remove Goldberry. That card was very expensive back then. It was so hard to find it. I remember myself having 0 Goldberries in my deck when I was playing on my local league. Back in the 2000, it was very hard to obtain some of the good staples back then, especially because, well, you was a kid, you were a kid, you didn't have the money, you didn't have the job, your parents was poor, so it was very hard to get some cards these days. But yeah, today is much easier. Of course, running 4 copies of Hyper Devolution Spray inside. Why this card is good? Because you run Dark Golbat and Dark Crobat. You really want to have Hyper Devolution Spray so you can basically just devolve your Dark Golbats and Dark Crobats and then just evolve another Zubats and Dark Golbats in play who actually didn't devolve that turn, because you can't do that on the same Pokemon. So of course 4 copies of Hyper Devolution Spray in this build. In addition to 4 copies of Hyper Devolution Spray, of course I have 4 copies of Super Scoop Up, so I can flip a coin. If it's a heads, I can return one of my Pokemon and all cards attached to it into my hand. So this Super Scoop Up is just so cute. Magnemite, Lighting Energies, Colorless Energies, Plus Power in the background. I'm not sure what is... Oh, that's a Pokeball in the background. But yeah, pretty much flip a coin if heads, return Dark Crobat back into your hand, and then just re-put it on the bench again, over and over time again. So 4 copies of Super Scoop Up, of course, must have card in this build. So I think the last 4 cards are gonna be in this build Master Ball. Look at the top 7 cards from your deck, choose a basic Pokemon or evolution card you find there, show to your opponent, put into your hand. 6 other cards needs to be shuffled back in your deck. So yeah, this is the pretty much best search engine we can find these days in that format. And of course, 4 copies the boss's way. I mean, it will just allows you to instantly search a deck for the Dark Golbat or a Dark Crobat, show to your opponent, put into your hand, then you can just easily use Sneaky Bite or Surprise Bite on your opponent. So 4 copies of the boss's way in this build. And the last 10 cards that I have inside are my grass energies. So I'm running 10 grass basic energies inside this build. So I can basically use my Eek, use my Fury Cutter, and the most important, use my Dark Drain, just in case I need it. So yeah, pretty much guys, a full deck list, as you can see. I'm not sure where should I put those energies. I guess I can put them... Oh, okay. Almost the earthquake hit my camera. There we go. I guess right now all energies can be seen. That's pretty much it, guys. That's my Dark Crobat deck that I have and that I use to play in a Team Rocket up to Neo format. I really like it. I mean, something like there's one Team Rocket card, Goop Gas Attack, I think, which says that you can just instantly shut down all Pokemon powers. But yeah, pretty much you can do that for maybe turn or 2. You're not going to be able to use that constantly against my Crobats. So once I set up 3 Zubats or 4 Zubats on the bench, I can just use my Dark Golbats and Dark Crobats. And trust me, this is so painful when you charge your energies to your benched Pokemon, especially with 4 energy cost, and where I can just snipe that benched Pokemon with my Dark Golbats and Dark Crobats. Is just very powerful. So once again, guys, I hope you enjoy watching this video. Don't forget to hit the like button, check my other videos. And yeah, let me know what you think about this deck list. If you maybe play Dark Crobat back then when the league was actually active, when this was a standard format deck, please let me know. Please let me know your deck list or how I can actually even improve this. I mean, at this moment when I record this video, I didn't have some other good cards that I can actually put inside, maybe like Chaos Gym or something like that. So I'm still looking forward to get some of these old school cards for my decks, so it can definitely be more improved, but I think this is also very strong and decent build. So once again, thanks for watching, have a nice day, and goodbye.